Hi friends, it's Jennifer from Live, Laugh, Love to Read. And today we're going to talk about all the books I read in April. So, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, let's talk about the first one. The Story of Beautiful Girl by Rachel Simon. And this was really good, and I think this was a reread. I think I read this like a few years ago, but it was really good, so I just read it again. Let me tell you about it. So it's 1968, and it actually spans like several years, but it starts in 1968, and it's about Lenny. It says, a young white woman with a developmental disability and Homan, an African-American deaf man, are locked away in the school for the incurable and feeble-minded and have been left to languish in the institution, forgotten. Deeply in love, they escape and find refuge in the farmhouse of Martha, a retired schoolteacher and widow. But the couple is not alone. Lenny has just given birth to a baby girl. When the authorities catch up to them that same night, Homan escapes into the darkness and Lenny is caught. Before she's forced back into the institution, she whispers 2 words to Martha: hide her. And so begins the 40-year journey of Lenny, Homan, Martha, and baby Julia. Lives divided by seemingly insurmountable obstacles, yet drawn together by a secret pact and extraordinary love. I really like this book. I think I gave it a 4.5. This was really good. I really liked Homan and Lenny, like their, what do you call it? Like, okay, so Homan does some sign language, but it's not the real sign language. It's like he learned it from some other people, and it wasn't like the correct one. But him and Lenny have like their own basically language that they do, and they can understand each other. And later on in the book, Homan actually does learn real sign language, which I thought was pretty cool. And Lenny, it follows Lenny's whole life, and then Julia, the baby, it follows her life too. And then Martha, who is the old lady that they actually go up in her attic and they hide the baby up there, so nobody knows there's a baby. Yeah. But anyhow, it follows all their lives, and really, it was really good. So I will probably be looking for more books by this Rachel Simon. I thought it was really good. So the next book was Saving Ruth by Zoe Fishman. And I really like this book too. I can't remember what I rated it. I wanted to say I rated it either probably a 4, pretty close to a 4. In fact, when I finished it, I went ahead and looked for more books by Zoe Fishman. That's how much I liked it. But this follows Ruth Wasserman, who she goes off to college. And while she's in college, she becomes anorexic. And her family is Jewish. So her brother David is like a year older than her, I think. And they both go off to college basically around the same time. And something happens, and he's having like a really hard time. They come back for the summertime, and they're both lifeguards. And it centers around, basically around Ruth and her anorexia. How she knows she has a problem, but like one side of her is saying, I don't have a problem. And the other side's like, okay, yeah, I know I do. This was pretty good. I would think that her other books, Zoe Fishman, other books, would be pretty good too. But, yeah, pretty good. So the next one I got as an ARC, and I won it on Goodreads. And it's by Someone Knows by Lisa Scottoline. And sometimes I like Lisa Scottoline's books, and other times I'm like, I could leave them. This one was pretty good. And I'll just read what it says on the back. It says, "What if your darkest secret wasn't a secret?" Allie Garvey is heading home to the funeral of a childhood friend. Allie is not only grief-stricken, she's full of dread. Because going home means seeing the other two people with whom she shares an unbearable secret. 20 years earlier, a horrific incident shattered the lives of 5 teenagers. They kept what happened a secret, believing that getting caught would be the worst thing that could happen. But time has taught Allie otherwise. Not getting caught was far worse. Now, standing on the precipice of losing everything, Allie digs to unearth the truth of what happened 2 decades ago, but reaching a shocking conclusion that she never saw coming, and neither will the reader. Yeah, this was pretty good. I think I gave it a 4. So this was one of Lisa Scottoline's better books for me. Like I said, I can leave her sometimes. I don't gravitate toward her books. But this one was pretty good. Her books are kind of slow moving for me, and this is a pretty big book. So I really think it could have been shorter, which I like long books, but yeah, I think this one could have been shorter, and yeah, she could have wrapped it up a lot faster. But I still enjoyed it. Yeah, basically there's woods behind a neighborhood, and something happens in the woods between these 5 teenagers, and I don't want to give it away, but yeah, something bad happens, and then they don't tell. They just go on and live their lives, and yeah, 20 years later, it basically comes back to bite them in the tushy. Yeah, this was pretty good. The next one I read was Little Earthquakes by Jennifer Weiner. I love Jennifer Weiner's books, and I'm surprised that I haven't read more of her books, but I'm making my way through them. This one was pretty good. This one is about Rebecca Rothstein, I don't know how you say her name, Rabinowitz, a plump, sexy chef who has a wonderful husband, supportive friends, a restaurant that's received citywide acclaim, a beautiful baby girl, and the mother-in-law from hell. And this book follows 4 women. They meet at a maternity yoga class, and the other lady's name is Kelly Day. It says Kelly Day's life looks picture perfect, but behind the doors of her largely empty apartment, she's struggling to balance work and motherhood and marriage, while entering Oliver's every move and movement on a spreadsheet, which is her baby. And dealing with an unemployed husband who seems content to channel surf for 8 hours a day. Arian Town is already on shaky ground, trying to live her life to the letter of a how-to guide called Baby Success, which is a book that someone gave her. It was like a baby Bible. Let's see. Her basketball superstar husband breaks her trust at the most vulnerable moment in her life, putting their marriage in peril and their new family even more in the public eye. And then there's Leah Frederick, a Philadelphia native who has just come home, leaving Los Angeles behind, along with her glamorous Hollywood career, her husband, and a tragic secret to start her life all over again. Yeah, this was good. I gave it, I want to say, 4.5 stars. I really liked it, which I like all of Jennifer Weiner's books. I really enjoyed the relationship these women had with each other. Like I said, they met at a maternity yoga class, and then they just continue staying friends. And I typically like books like that where they have, women friendships and all that. So this one was pretty good. I really liked it. And then I read Into the Darkness by Elizabeth Haynes. And this was really good too. This is about domestic abuse. So if you're not into books about that, then you might not like this one. But I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking at my dog because he's rolling around on the floor being goofy. It's dinner time for him, so he's over there rolling around like, hello, dinner time, Mom. You could probably hear his collar jingling. Anyway, this was about Catherine Bailey, and she meets Lee Brightman. She cannot believe her luck. Gorgeous, charismatic, and a bit mysterious, Lee seems almost too perfect to be true. Yep, he was. But what begins as flattering attention and spontaneous, passionate sex transforms into raging jealousy, and Catherine soon discovers that Lee's dazzling blue eyes and blonde good looks hide a dark, violent nature. Disturbed by his increasingly erratic, controlling behavior, she tries to break it off, turning to her friends for support. She's stunned to find they don't believe her. Increasingly isolated and driven into the darkest corner of her world, a desperate Catherine plans a meticulous escape. Yeah, that's really good. One thing it says, which I thought was interesting, it says, I'd always thought that women who stayed in bad relationships must be foolish. After all, there had to be a moment, a realization that things had taken a wrong turn and you were suddenly afraid to be with your partner. And surely that was the moment to leave. Walk away and don't look back. I always thought, why would you stay? It wasn't about walking away anymore. It was about running. It was about escape. Yeah, this book was really good. I liked it. If you like that kind of content, I thought it was really good. And let's see. I think that was it. I think that was the last book. This is going to be probably my first video on my new channel. I do have another YouTube channel called Read Along with Aunt Ninny, where I read children's books. But I decided I wanted to start a new YouTube channel where I review adult books. And that's what I've decided to do. And if you like that kind of content, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned because I will be having more videos coming up. Yep. And here's all the books. Yay! See you guys later. Bye!